In this video, we're going to go over a tip in regards to our office team members. Largely, you guys are going to be responsible for answering the phones, collecting information from customers, and this is a critical step for you guys to ask the right questions and record the right information so that ultimately, as our current process stands, you can hand that information to our virtual assistant team. They can prepare the quote, and the goal here is to make sure that the quote is as accurate as possible, right? So this series of questions, or really this script in this case, is going to be helpful for ensuring that a window cleaning quote is prepared accurately. We can do that first and foremost, no matter if it's a 1-story or 2-story home. I want you to try to ask, as long as they don't live in a retirement community, because if they live in a retirement community, a 55 plus active living retirement community, and they know their home model, then we already know their window pane count, almost guaranteed. Or if it's an existing customer that we've already done an appointment for, we've been on their property, we've likely counted their number of window panes in that case as well. So those are the cases in which this isn't really too relevant because we already have the information that we need to prepare the quote. But for every new inquiry or someone that we don't have that information for, 1-story or 2-story homes, this is the series of questions or a script that you should try to use for a window cleaning quote, okay? So for a free window cleaning quote, what I want you to say to the person is, for a free window cleaning quote, is it possible, do you have a smartphone or a cell phone that you can take a picture of the 4 sides of your home? Do it from the exterior with all the windows being visible, because that way I can understand the scope of your project perfectly accurate so that we can make sure that the quote that we're providing, we can honor it and it's right the first time. The quote's going to be accurate if you provide a picture of the exterior windows with all the windows being visible, okay? That's our preferred method because then the pressure's on us to count right and make sure your quote's accurate. But there's an alternative if you don't have a smartphone or you don't have a cell phone, or perhaps the person you're talking to is even elderly and you can sense that they've said, I can't really do that. I have a tough time getting around my house or whatever it might be. That's okay, ma'am or sir. Alternatively, you can count the exact number of window panes yourself, but usually taking pictures is easier and results in a more accurate quote from our experience working with customers like you. But if you prefer to count the number of window panes so that you can do that accurately, if you opt for that option, if you want to count them, how we count window panes is, let's say a sliding glass door, or most windows or sliding glass doors, they have a track where one side is stationary and does not move, and the other side of the window does move on the track back and forth like a sliding glass door, like you probably have in your kitchen area. So in that case, that one side that's stationary, that's one pane, and the other side that moves back and forth on the track, that's another pane. So most windows have 2 panes, one stationary and one that moves. Is it possible for you to walk around your house and try to count the number of window panes? Because if we can get an accurate count, then we can ensure that the quote we're preparing is accurate. But if there's any discrepancy in the number of window panes, we just want to make sure that the quote we're providing is accurate the first time. So that's our intent. Is that a possibility to provide the pictures, or would you prefer counting the number of window panes? Okay, so that's pretty much the conversation I want you to have with every window cleaning inquiry, unless we already have that information for that person. And again, it is the office staff. It's your responsibility to make sure that we're preparing or collecting the accurate information so that we can make sure that the virtual assistants are equipped with the proper info to prepare that quote for that customer so that that customer is getting an accurate quote the first time, okay? The worst case scenario is we prepare a quote that's inaccurate or inaccurate because, they told us I have 10 windows, but we don't care about windows. We care about window panes, right? So it's your responsibility at the end of the day to make sure we're collecting the information in an accurate fashion so that the quote we're preparing is accurate, okay? And regardless of if they are able to provide the pictures or an accurate window pane count, no matter what, there's a solution to provide them with a quote, okay? So regardless of whatever information that's provided, we can send them a quote no matter what, with an hourly rate quote, let's say, as a last resort. But go through the other videos, prepare a quote no matter what, but try to use this script so that we can ensure that the quote is as accurate as possible for that given customer that's asking about window cleaning.